You pride yourself on being a kind, highly empathetic person. You can feel the emotions of others, absorb their stress, and you always try to help them. But in the dark world of behavioral psychology, your empathy is not just a gift. It is a highly predictable loophole that master manipulators exploit to gain control over your life. They see your kindness as a weakness, and they use it to turn you into a psychological puppet. Welcome to the dark mechanics of the Empath Trap and how you can protect your mind. To understand why manipulators target empaths, we must look at the personality profiles involved. Empaths possess a high level of emotional sensitivity and a desire to help others heal. Manipulators, particularly narcissists, possess a high level of grandiosity and a lack of empathy. They need constant validation, attention, and control to support their fragile egos. This psychological fuel is known as narcissistic supply, and they will do anything to get it. An empath is the ultimate source of this supply because they will give and give without expecting anything in return. The manipulator starts by finding an empath who is vulnerable, seeking connection, or going through a hard time. They analyze the empath's behaviors, looking for signs of low self-esteem or a need for approval. Once they select their target, they begin the first stage of the trap, love bombing. They shower the empath with constant praise, affection, gifts, and attention. They tell the empath, "You are the most amazing person I have ever met. We are perfect for each other." This intense attention floods the empath's brain with dopamine, creating a powerful chemical addiction. The empath feels valued, safe, and deeply understood, but this is a calculation. As soon as the empath is hooked, the manipulator shifts to the second stage, devaluation. They suddenly withdraw their warmth, acting cold, distant, and critical without any warning. The empath, confused and anxious, begins to beg for the manipulator's validation again. They wonder, what did I do wrong? How can I fix this? By keeping the empath in suspense, the manipulator gains complete emotional control. They combine this devaluation with the toxic weapon of gaslighting. They distort the truth, deny facts, and rewrite history to make the empath doubt their own sanity. They say, "I never said that. You are being too sensitive. You are imagining things." Over time, the empath begins to doubt their own memory, perception, and judgment. They become entirely dependent on the manipulator to define what is real and what is not. The manipulator also uses projection to shift the blame for their own bad actions onto the empath. If the manipulator is caught lying, they will accuse the empath of being dishonest. If they are caught being cold, they will accuse the empath of being uncaring and cold. This confusion forces the empath to defend themselves, draining their mental energy entirely. They waste hours explaining the obvious, while the manipulator enjoys the control. The empath's brain is thrown into a state of chronic stress, which damages their cognitive functions. They struggle to make simple decisions, lose their focus, and feel constant anxiety. This is the exact goal of the manipulator, to erode the empath's independence. They want the empath to believe they cannot survive or make decisions without them. To make the trap even tighter, they isolate the empath from their friends and family. They say, "Your friends do not understand you like I do. They are trying to turn you against me." By cutting off the empath's support network, they eliminate any outside perspective that could expose the abuse. The empath is left alone in a dark room with the manipulator, who controls the narrative. They also utilize triangulation, introducing a third person into the relationship dynamics. They might talk about an attractive colleague, or praise an ex-partner in front of the empath. This triggers a sense of insecurity and competition, forcing the empath to work even harder for approval. The empath is forced to run faster in a race they can never win. This unpredictable cycle binds the empath to the manipulator in a powerful trauma bond. The brain associates the manipulator with both extreme pain and the relief of that pain. This is the same chemical mechanism that drives drug addiction. Even when the empath knows the relationship is toxic, they feel physically unable to leave. To break free from this toxic trap, you must change your psychological response to their manipulation. The manipulator feeds on your reactions, your emotional distress, and your desperate attempts to fix the relationship. When you plead, explain yourself, or show them how much their behavior hurts you, you give them the validation they crave. The first step is to stop explaining yourself. Narcissists do not care about your feelings, only your compliance. Establish firm, written boundaries and refuse to debate them under any circumstances. If they cross a boundary, enforce the consequences immediately without arguing or waiting for their approval. Practice emotional detachment by viewing their behavior through the lens of objective behavioral science. Realize that their constant criticism is not a reflection of your worth, but a projection of their own internal shame. Use the gray rock method when you must interact with them, keeping your tone flat and completely uninteresting. Do not share your personal goals, vulnerabilities, or secrets with someone who uses them as weapons against you. Keep your conversations strictly businesslike, brief, and completely devoid of emotional depth. Write down the facts of your interactions in a private journal to keep your mind grounded in objective reality. This prevents the manipulator from using gaslighting to rewrite your memories or make you doubt your sanity. Understand that you cannot heal, fix, or change a person who does not believe there is anything wrong with them. Your empathy is a valuable resource, and you must protect it from being systematically drained by toxic people. Pivot your care, energy, and attention away from the manipulator and back onto your own personal growth. Rebuild your support network by reconnecting with healthy friends and family members who respect your boundaries. Engage in hobbies, activities, and career goals that restore your self-confidence and personal power. The ultimate victory over the empath trap is a calm, independent mind that lives in its own truth. You are not responsible for carrying their emotional weight or managing their unpredictable moods. Stand tall, trust your memory, and refuse to participate in their exhausting psychological games. You have the absolute right to choose who has access to your valuable time, energy, and love. Do not let guilt or false obligations trap you in an environment that decays your mental health. Reclaim your cognitive freedom, protect your peace of mind, and walk away from the manipulation. You deserve to be in relationships where your empathy is met with mutual respect, care, and honesty. Step out of the victim role, recognize the patterns of control, and claim your personal independence. Your voice deserves to be heard, your boundaries deserve to be respected, and your life is yours to live. Trust your instincts when they tell you a relationship is draining you rather than feeding you. Do not compromise your core values or self-worth to keep a toxic peace with a manipulator. Surround yourself with people who celebrate your empathy rather than exploiting it for their own gain. Your healing journey begins with the conscious decision to value your own peace of mind above all else. Walk away from the toxic dynamics and step into the bright future of your personal freedom. You are strong, you are resilient, and you have the power to write your own story. Keep your boundaries strong, live in your objective truth, and protect the light of your empathy. The narcissist will try to hoover you back into the relationship with sudden promises of change. Do not fall for these empty performative apologies. Observe their long-term actions instead. True change requires self-reflection and accountability, which manipulators actively avoid. Stay firm in your resolve, cut off all contact if necessary, and refuse to negotiate your sanity. You have the strength to heal from the trauma bond and rebuild a healthy, independent life. Do not let their past manipulation define your future choices or limit your personal potential. Focus your energy on your own physical health, mental clarity, and spiritual well-being. Walk barefoot, exercise, eat healthy foods, and let your body recover from the stress. Your nervous system needs time to exit the chronic fight-or-flight state caused by the abuse. Give yourself the time, space, and compassion to heal at your own natural pace. You are the author of your own life, and you hold the remote control to your mind. Stop seeking their validation and start validating your own worth, character, and actions. You are worthy of genuine love, respect, and peace of mind. Walk away from the silent drama and step into the freedom of your own truth. The trauma bond created by intermittent reinforcement makes your brain associate the narcissist with survival itself. When they withdraw their love, your amygdala reacts as if you are being abandoned in the wild savanna. This is why the emotional pain feels so physical, intense, and completely overwhelming to your system. Recognizing that this is a chemical reaction rather than true love is the key to breaking the bond. Allow yourself to go through the chemical withdrawal without running back to the source of the poison. With time, your brain will naturally rebuild its receptor balance and restore your sense of peace. You will look back and wonder how you ever let such an emotionally immature person control your life.